Welcome back, everybody, to the Meeple Marathon, and today we're going to be doing a kind of a special playthrough for Ultra Tiny Epic Kingdoms. Now, this is very similar to Ultra Tiny Epic Galaxies in that it is essentially the exact same game as Tiny Epic Kingdoms, except shrunken down into the size of a standard deck of playing cards. And really, unlike Ultra Tiny Epic Galaxies, where there's two different types of cards, this one is all, standard size playing cards and then these cubes. And so it, translates very well. It is essentially the base game. I believe they may have added a few additional races, but then they also included the solo compass card, which was originally only ever included in the Heroes Call expansion for the original Tiny Epic Kingdoms. So this is actually a really great way on a budget for you to be able to experience this game from a solo perspective, as long as you're okay with the ultra tiny aspect of it. But I think it works really well. It's as long as you can get past cubes just being cubes, then it's really nice. The artwork works well. Shrunk down, everything fits. Essentially how they covered so much content in the game is that every faction type on the opposite side has a land on the other side. So you can see here is all the other factions that are in the game that I'm not using currently, and then on the back side there's all these different lands. So there's a ton of variety. I love just playing somebody different every time, and today I'm going to be playing as the Order of Gamelin, which is kind of a unique card because obviously it is an ode to the designers and Gamelin Games, and so I just thought it'd be fun to just kind of show off this faction here. But also then I'm going to do a couple other things slightly different than the standard solo rules. So normally the standard solo rules just has you going head to head against a single AI opponent, and you use this compass and a 12-sided die. This is the only thing not included in the game, but they have a random number generator that is just 1 through 12. If you go to a website, it's in the instruction manual. It's free to use. So if you don't happen to have one of these, you can still play the game. But the 12-sided die and this compass allows you to, the AI opponent chooses their actions for you, chooses which armies they're going to activate and things like that. So essentially, a very quick overview of the game for those of you not familiar with it. There are, 6 different actions you can take on your turn. The first one is patrol. That would be moving any one of your armies to an adjacent territory. So I couldn't just jump there, but I could go here or here within your card. Now, once I expand onto other cards, then I can move, but you have to stay within the card. You cannot hop cards, whereas quest is pretty much the same thing, but it's hopping to another card. But to quest, you have to be able to go from a outside territory on the edge of the card to another territory on the edge of another card. So for example, I could not quest from this capital city here because there's water or other territories surrounding it. Where else? I could not quest from this forest right here, but you could quest from any of these other locations. And just for reference here, this mountain range and this mountain range are two separate mountain ranges because they are distinctly broken up by a river that goes down into the fields. So, okay, so there's patrol, there's quest, there's build. That means you spend the red resource cube, which is this tracker right here is just my resource tracker. So this is like the brick. You spend brick equal to the amount that's the next step on this tower tracker, and you are just trying to build your war tower. If at any point anybody reaches the top, they trigger the end game conditions. It's also worth 10 VP at the end of the game. So the higher up this tracker you get, the more points you score. The research one is almost identical, except you're spending your mana, the green resource, and you're moving up this track. And this track is unique to each faction. So for example, the Order of Gamelin, after I enter my first research level, if I win a war, I gain 2 corn to be able to feed my people. If I get all the way up here, the Order of Gamelin says I gain 1 VP, and the game immediately ends. There is no finishing out the round, which is the standard way to end the game. So I tried to do that the last time I played with the Order of Gamelin, didn't quite get there, but I was victorious in my strategy, so we'll talk about that a little bit later. The next is expand. Now expand means adding an army from your pool of 5 additional ones that you have off to the side. Here are my Dark Elves, I made them white, ha ha ha. And here are the Orcs, they are the orange and I'm the purple. Expand means you are paying in food resource, 1 for each army you have out there, plus 1 for the one you want to put out there. So right off the bat, to expand from 2 to 3, I would need to pay 3 food resources, and then I get to put a cube out. For me, I need to be able to put a cube out that's in another territory with one of my other armies, and there can only ever be a maximum of 2 armies per area of any color. The AI, however, they go straight into an adjacent area next to one of their armies. So slightly different rule for the AI. And the last thing is trade. Trade means that you can swap out any one resource for any one other resource. It's all a 1-to-1 ratio. So say I had 9 mana, I could trade 1, 2, 3 of it to get 3 brick. If you choose at any point to not take the specific action, or you can't take the specific action, say you don't have enough brick to build the next level of your tower, you simply collect resources on your turn. That means for each territory that you control, you collect, for example, I would collect 1 mana here for the forest. Even though I have 2 armies here, I'm still only controlling that 1 territory. For example, the Dark Elves would collect, if they're collecting resources, they would collect forest and mountain, mana and brick, and here mana and brick as well. You get food from the yellow areas. One slight difference is that the AI on the trade action always just gains 1 of every resource, and that's it. Whereas any other time, if they cannot accomplish an action, they will collect resources based on standard rules. Now, as you are choosing the actions, when it's your turn, you get to choose the action, and you take one of these gray cubes and you put it next to the action, signifying that that action cannot be taken for the rest of the round. After you have chosen your action and you take it, then everybody else going around in clockwise order gets the chance to follow you. That means they can do the same action on their card or with their armies, or they collect resources. So when playing the AI, we simply have to roll this d12, and the compass tells us which action they will choose. And if it's already taken, we just move around until we hit one we like. And then, then we go around and we will get to follow their actions of their choice. Once 5 of the 6 actions have been taken, the card is, for the next person, it's cleared off, so they get all the choices. And you also flip this compass card over when you're playing against the AI. The compass card simply makes it easier to defeat armies in war at night. It also changes up slightly the selection priority. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. That's not a huge deal to talk about right now. And that's pretty much it. That's how you play Tiny Epic Kingdoms, and you'll see very quickly how we use this compass card here with the clock in it, essentially, to control the AI. So what I have done though in this game is actually given myself 2 AI opponents, the Orcs and the Dark Elves, and I've also established what is known as the Lost Kingdom variant that they suggest, Gamelin Games suggests you do if you're playing with just 2 players. So I thought about doing this with just me and the 1 AI opponent, and I thought, well, why not? Let's give the whole compass stuff to aim at, and you'll see kind of what I'm talking about later, that when you just have a land top and bottom, and there's nothing over here for the compass to point at, it's a lot of just you end up in the same territories a lot. So these black resources or black armies up here are dummy players. They're not going to take a turn. They don't select an action. They're simply there to get in the way and control this upper territory. At any point, you can move in and you can claim a war with them, and you have to be able to spend for war resources equal to or greater than how many cubes they have out here. So the first person that goes to war with these guys will have to spend 5 war resources for war, and then 4, and then 3, then 2, then 1. And end game, you're going to get an extra VP for any territory that you control on this card and any black army that you have taken hostage. Normally, the AI does not pay for war. If you go to war with them or they enter your territory and go to war with you, you simply have to just outpay them. Normally, it's like a kind of a secret bidding process when you're playing multiplayer to see how much you're willing to spend. Here, it's you know exactly how much you have to spend. Can you or are you willing to spend it to defeat the army? And they move on. The only time they ever pay is to retreat, and that's in food. Whereas for war, you can only pay for war in mana and brick. I made the decision, this is not in the official rules, that even though these guys don't pay for war when battling against me, they do have to pay for war to move up here. So if they're questing and the dial tells them to go up here, I will simply decide, do they have enough resources to beat out this guy or any of the guys, depending on the Lost Kingdom rules. If so, they will move there and I'll spend their resources. If not, I'll just continue around the dial until I hit somewhere that they can go. Also, anytime that the Dark Elves or the Orcs will enter the same region, they're not going to war. They always form an alliance. I think that pretty much covers everything. So I'm going to go ahead and play a few rounds. We'll see how this goes, and maybe we'll have time to get through the whole game. So, you as the human player always gets to go first, and obviously pretty standard for what anybody likes to do right off the bat is move yourself around. At least for me, certainly, because I'm stuck on one space, whereas the AI gets 2 spaces. So I'm gonna patrol and spread myself out there. Now, the orcs are also going to patrol, so I'm gonna start by rolling my d12 here. They get a 4. So you can see the 4 is pointing here, but that's not pointing to any orc army. So we need to just tick, 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 ding. Okay, so now we get to the 9. The 9's actually kind of pointing to both of them. So that's where this selection priority comes in. During the day, you're going to select whichever army or region is closer to the compass card. At night, you select the opposite one. So we're going to select this guy right here. Then you could interpret this a little differently in the rule books. Some would say, oh, you got to patrol to this region. Well, that's not legal. So then you go tick, 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 ding. And, you move around that way. I like to think that, okay, we found our person, and then the 4 is pointing in a southeasterly direction. So this guy wants to go southeast. Well, talking through all this, and he really only has one choice to go, because the AI will never double up their own armies, and he can't cross this river, he cannot go into these craggy mountains. So the only place he can patrol, because he has to stay on his same card, is into the fields. So it's kind of a moot point. And the Dark Elves, they're going to roll separately. 6, again, tick, 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 ding. And so this guy wants to go south, but there is already somebody south. So the only other place he can go is there. Okay. That is my turn. Everybody got to go. Now it's the orcs. So again, every time it's the AI player's turn, you're pretty much going to roll a d12 here. And you got a 10. So on this compass, it's very small. You probably can't read it, but there's words printed around the inside here. And for 10, it says quest. So quest is not taken. So the orcs are going to quest. If quest had already been taken, we would just continue around the compass clockwise until we hit a action that was not taken yet. So we hit on 10. And so they're going to aim for 10. And I like to say that these ones that are pointing into the corner are more pinched in for these side cards. Because see how the 11 points up into this corner and the 1 points up into this corner. But anyways, so I'm going to say that this guy is going to quest. And he wants to quest, you know, out here. But obviously that's not going anywhere. So he's actually going to go around the clockwise until he hits an area that he can quest. So this would be the first area he wants to hit. Now he needs to be able to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resources for war. Now mana counts double in war and brick counts for 1, so he can actually spend 1, 2 mana, that equals 4, and I'm not going to cheat him here. And then he'll just spend 1 brick to get to 5 exactly. That's all he needed to do. He takes over this region. He's now getting an extra VP for the end of the game. And if he can control that region, he will get another VP. Okay, so the Dark Elves are going to quest, and you always do need to complete these in action. You don't, as the human player, don't just always get to take your quest action first. You need to see what they're going to do in order. So 10 is over here. Nobody. Ding, we hit this guy first. So he wants to quest in this direction. So, actually what he's pointing at is right here. So this is where the rules of interpretation could come in to handy. Some would say you put him right there. I am going to say he wants to go in this direction. What's the first place? Can he go anywhere in this direction? And he can. So he's actually going to go after the Lost Kingdom as well. He's going to pay essentially the same way, but he doesn't have to pay in that brick because there was already 1 missing. So that's just how I interpret the compass. You can interpret it differently. As long as you're consistent, though, with how you are selecting the AI's action and direction, I don't think it really matters. Okay, so do I want a quest, though, is the question. I'm not feeling super confident in heading up there yet, although I could. If I swooped in here and went after one of the AI players, they would have no place to retreat. But I'd have to spend, it is daytime, and they've got 2 armies out, so I'd need to spend 5 because I'm the attacker. So that would essentially be 1, 2, and my brick. I don't know if I'm quite ready for that yet. So what I'm going to do instead is collect resources, and I'm just on 1 green and 1 yellow, and that's it, but that's fine for now. Okay. Dark Elves' turn. And once I stop talking through all this, these turns will go a lot faster. Okay, they want to build. So they're going to take the build action. Starts with them, and if they can take it, they will. So there you go. They're going to move up 1. I also don't really want to get left behind quite yet, so I'll take it. And these guys will take it. Okay, and that was pretty easy. All right, and then it's back to me. So my choices are research, expand, or trade. I think I want to go ahead and research. So I'm going to spend my 1 to move on to the research track. This guy's also going to spend 1, and this guy's going to spend 1. Okay. Good. All right. All right. That was pretty easy. And onto the orcs. 1 is research. So research already taken. So then we go down and the next one is trade, and that one is available. So trade action, reminder, the AI simply takes 1 of each resource in the trade action. Whereas I don't get that luxury. I can either collect resources or I can trade. I am actually just going to collect resources, so 1 of each. I'm probably going to kind of give up on the war tower here and go after this track to see if I can't end the game fast enough that they haven't really gotten that far. So that's going to be my goal here. So I'm looking for lots of mana, essentially. All right. So we move over here to the Dark Elves. We have put out all of our gray tokens, so they all come off, and we flip this card. Now it is becoming easier for me to go out and attack someone. So I think now is when I will go try and fight someone if the quest action comes up. So Dark Elves get to roll first, and they rolled a 9. That is build. So we look, and they can afford it. So they're going to spend 2 to move up. I cannot though. So again, I'm stuck collecting resources, which is fine. I already said I was probably going to give up on this tower. And these guys will also build and move up. So there you go. Pretty easy. Turn comes to me. So, question is, do I want to expand first? Yes. No, I want to expand up there. So I'm going to quest. So let's just send these guys off. And when you're the human player, you can go anywhere as long as you are leaving from a card edge and entering into a card edge. And I want to be up here. I cannot just come straight into these two because they're interior spaces. And if I come right here, that might be beneficial, but I actually kind of want to put a hurting on the other players. So I'm going to come right here. Okay, so I have started a war and moving into here, and I have no expectations of building an alliance either. So to defeat the AI, I need to beat their army costs ×1, so 1, 2. I need to spend 3 resources on war. I have no brick, so it's all coming out of my mana, but I only have to spend 2 mana because mana is worth double. So I have defeated them. Normally they would have the opportunity to retreat, but there's no place to retreat to. So these guys actually lose that army off the board. And my little thing here says, if you win a war, gain 2. Boom, boom. Okay. All right. So now I'm in a great place to expand up there as well. Okay, so I quested, now these guys are gonna quest. So the orcs are going with 7, which is gonna be this guy. That's the first guy we hit. And 7 is over here. So, there we go. Yeah, pretty straightforward. And then the Dark Elves only have 1 guy, so they're going to be here, and they want to quest in this direction. There's nothing there, so they're just going to tick, 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 tick around, and they decided they're going to come over here. And just general rules statement, you cannot defeat anybody off the board. I know this is kind of a mini 4X game, but you cannot completely exterminate anyone. You cannot go to war with their final person. Okay. So that was everybody questing. Time for the orcs to decide. Ooh, that one rolled way up there. Questing. So questing's not available. Expand is the next one. So orcs have 1, 2. Do they have at least 3? They do. So they'll spend the resources. And we've already rolled the die once. So we start at 5, and they're going to expand to here. And they want to go kind of, and again, this is the way I interpret the compass, expand down this way. So they're going to take over the capital city. This is worth 2 VP at the end of the game, if they can hold it. And the Dark Elves are also definitely going to pay to expand. Ooh, but they can't. This is interesting. See, they would want to expand, but they're kind of stuck here. Now that the orcs came in and took this spot, they cannot expand there, and they cannot expand into me. And the AI says they won't go there. So interestingly enough, they are simply going to collect resources. All right, Dark Elves, I feel like, are kind of in trouble here. But that's fine. This isn't a game about being nice. Okay, and myself, I am definitely going to expand. So 1, 2, 3 to get my first cube out there. And I'm going to expand up here. I may completely give up my home territory and just completely go after the one that's going to give me extra VP. Okay, so Dark Elves' turn. They're doing a trade action. Okay, so they gain 1 of each resource. Boom, boom. I can get, yeah, 1 of each. Yeah, I feel like that's the best, just to take my resources. And these guys are also going to take 1 of each. Okay. Comes back to me, and I can either research or patrol. Other players can gain resources from regions, stations. I think we will research, because I want to get up here. This says when you are the active player, before you select an action, gain 1 resource of your choice. So I want to try and get up there. 1, 2. So I'll spend my 2 mana. This guy also can spend 2 to move up, and this guy can spend 2 to move up. So everybody's following me. Pretty straightforward. So the orcs, we get to clear this card. We flip this over, and we simply go again. Oops. All right, stay to 1. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can't power through this game here now. Okay, so he wants to research, which is interesting because we just did research. So he can't, so he's going to take resources, which is 1 of each of these. He cannot research either, so he just gets this one here. And can I? I cannot either. Huh, what a crappy way to start this round, orcs. Poor decision. Although maybe, you know, if I were a human player, I might be thinking, ooh, I see what his strategy is. I want to take that action before he can actually get enough resources to move up. And then I'm stuck not being able to take the research action until the next round. So it's really not that bad of a play from the orcs. All right, so I simply get 1 of each. Okay. All right, Dark Elves are doing 11, which is patrol. Okay, they are stuck, so they're gonna take their resource there. I feel like there might be, there's really nothing in the rules about their last. There's rules about if you're the human players, last army bonus resource. In the rare event that you are reduced to 1 army in play, you may collect a bonus resource of your choice, in addition to the 1 resource you gained from the region. Okay, so we owe this guy some resources. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna give him whatever he's lowest at. So he's taken resources twice since he's been there, so I'm gonna give him 2 mana. Help him out a little. Okay, where were we? He took his spot. What are we doing? Patrolling? Okay, so if I move into there, I need to be able to spend 3. That's gonna take me pretty low, but that's okay. All right, I'm gonna patrol, start a war. There's 3 black cubes, so I need to be able to spend 3 resources for war, which is 2 mana. I have taken a hostage, and yeah, we're done. And over here, I need to roll the die. 11 is gonna be this guy. And so he wants to go that way, which it doesn't really matter. So then we hit here, and we're kind of hitting both of these regions at the same time. So I go to selection priority, and he's gonna go to the one closer to the compass card. but we need to determine, can he do this? He actually can, because I went before him. So I removed a black one, and now there's only 2 left, so he only needs to spend 2 resources for war. And so he actually is able to complete that action there. Interesting. Okay, so it's me against the orcs, basically, with the Dark Elves viewing from the stands. Okay. Now, this is when I don't want to... Actually, I could build. Yeah. So I'm going to do similar to what the orcs did last time. I'm going to build right now because they don't have the resources to jump up on this track and get ahead of me. So I know I chose build, but I deliberately did it so that I could just simply collect resources, which right now is 1 of each. Same thing for them. They cannot afford it. So he's going to gain 1 and 1. Okay. And he's going to gain 1 and a resource of his choice. So we gave him a lot of green already. We'll give him red. Last army bonus there. Okay. So that's my turn. The orcs are questing. Okay. So we're going to jump around again. Let's see who they want to take on. 4, which is going to be this guy. This guy cannot quest though. So he is stuck there holding down the fort. So then I'm going to continue around and we're going to go this guy. So he wants to quest over here. So he's going to hop over here, and there's nobody on this card. So he's like, why not? Let's go here. All right, that was pretty straightforward. And the Dark Elves are going to get the heck out of Dodge. So obviously there's only 1 guy left. He's got to get off of this card when he quests. So we're just going to tick around, and he's going to hide way over here. All right, now he can actually start to expand. Okay, now me. So do I want to get off of my rock here? No, because I actually like having green resources, and I can't hop directly onto this one. So I, instead of questing, I'm going to collect, which is 1 of each. Okay. So now it's the Dark Elves' turn. Not a whole lot left for them to choose. They're going to choose to build. It's already taken. Then quest. Nope. Patrol. Nope. Expand. Perfect. Okay, so they obviously are going to spend the 2 to get 1 out here. And the question is, which direction are they going to expand towards? South. So I'm going to go there first. All right. So they're back on the board. I also am going to expand. So I need to spend 4 now. Boop. We're going to go right here. Boop. Okay. And, what are the orcs going to do? They have 1, 2, 3 armies out, so they need to spend 4. None of their stuff over here. I just realized they can spend food for war too. But they've won every war I've sent them on, so. All right, they cannot expand because they actually need, they're 1 food short. So they get to collect 2 mana. Okay, so this comes to me, clear the card, flip this over, which is good because now I can attack this orc without it being a lot cheaper. All right, so I think that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I think we just want to go ahead and get this over with. So let's patrol, move into here. And now he's got 1, 2, 3 armies out. At night, I only pay 1 per army. So I need to spend 4. So boom, boom, I'm going to spend it all in mana. And he has been defeated. Now, he can retreat, but can he pay for it? He needs to spend essentially the same amount of food as he has armies to be able to retreat. So he is going to retreat and just push over right there. All right. So the orcs here are going to, now I've run into this before, and this is interesting. Technically, I'm coming to this guy first. So what I think I might actually, what works, only because it's the night phase, is that I hit here and then he wants to patrol this way. He's actually going to go up here and take on this guy. And he is going to, he just needs to spend 1. So he's going to spend the cheaper option there to take this guy out. And he's actually got a 3rd game-ending VP. So that's interesting. And now when he's up here, when he collects resources, this is a resource of his choice. So I'll do what I did over here. I'll just give him whatever he's lowest on. Give him 1 of whatever he's lowest on. Okay, so that was the orcs, and the dark elves are pretty much going to, we're going to get to this guy first, and he's got only 1 place to go, which is fine. He doesn't need any more food. Okay. So, onto the orcs' turn. They are going to expand, which he cannot afford. So, he's going to gain resources. He gets to gain 1 here. And then we'll say, since he wanted to expand and he couldn't, we'll give him the yellow. And the dark elves are definitely going to expand. So 1, 2, 3, and they want to expand that way, so we'll push him back right there. All right, and do I want to expand? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'd need to spend 5, and I don't have it. Although, I'm sorry, I did win a war last time, and I forgot to claim my 2 free food, so I do have it. So I actually am doing pretty good here. I guess we will simply go up here. Yeah. So this goes down to 1. Okay. All right, now we're good. Moving along. Dark elves will 3. They want to build. Okay, so they can actually afford it now. So they're gonna move up the track. I can, so I guess it's like, why not? Get up there. The orcs cannot. So they're gonna collect resources. He's gonna collect his 1 mana, and his resource of choice is gonna be the lowest one, so there we go. All right, back to me. Gosh, I really just need resources. I have nothing right now, so I don't want to do research because he could move past me. I don't want to quest. I want to give that up, so we're going to do trade, and I'm going to collect instead. So 1, 2, 1, and 1. Okay. I'm struggling to get up this track right here. Okay, he is going to collect 1 of each. Boom, boom, and same over here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, moving around. And 3 as well. We did build, patrol, we've done quest. All right, he's gonna quest. So we already have our compass position. So this is gonna be the guy that quests, and he wants to go to the right. That doesn't work, so he's actually gonna tick down here and he's gonna quest over here. They're coming for me. All right, and the dark elves are finally gonna get off their duffers here, and we're gonna circle around. This guy is gonna quest. He wants to go north. Nothing I can get there, so we will tick around here. Oh wait, no, north is right here. So he's going to come after me. All right, so he came after me. I need to be able to spend, it's at night, so 1, 2, 3 resources. I'm just defending, so I can go boom and boom, and that pushes him back. That actually kills him, which is interesting. I don't know why the AI would just throw themselves into a fight like that, but I believe I'm playing that correctly. You know, this was here, 12. Actually, no. I take that back. 12, he would have gone up here and formed an alliance. So, I'm going to take my things back. Yeah, because it's nighttime, he's going to go priority furthest card away, or furthest space away, and they don't fight. So these guys are going to form an alliance, which is smarter for him anyways than just kamikazing me. So, all right. What was that now? Quest? Quest. Do I want to quest? That's a very good question. I like being on the green. I could hop over here. Maybe we'll do that. No, I can't. Ooh, boy. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave from here and just come around and quest to right there. Good. Okay, this clears. Back to the daytime. This moves over. I feel like we're getting very close here. All right, 9, build. Okay, not enough, so he's gonna collect on 2, boom, boom, and then a resource of his choice. He just took a bunch of bricks, so we'll give him that. I cannot afford it, so I'm going to collect 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's nice, I like that. And 1, no food though. Okay, and he does not have what it takes, so he's also going to collect boom and boom. Okay. All right, what do I want to do here? I think I want to jump up on the research track. Yeah, see if we can't do that. So let's research here. I need to spend 3. So boop and boop. They also are going to spend 3. Oop, I'm doing it out of order, sorry. And he's going to spend 3. So everybody's jumping up with me. Okay, that's fine. Orcs are 6. 6 is expand. Okay. All right, so the orcs have 1, 2, 3. So they need to spend 4 food and they don't have it. So they're going to take their 1 food and I'm trying to think of what we'll give them. A brick too. Okay. All right. Elves have 1, 2, 3. They would need 4. They have it. So they're going to spend it. And we're going to see where they can go. Because this could be interesting. 11, which is right here. And ticking around is actually this guy. And he can put somebody right there. So that's where the Dark Elves are making a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. And I cannot afford to expand. So I'm going to collect my mighty amount of 1, 2, 3, and 1. Okay. All right. Let's see what the Dark Elves are going to do. 8 says trade. Okay, so they gain boop and boop. What do I want to do? Yeah, I think I'm good. So 1, 2, 3, and 1. I'm really just going after this at this point. All right, and they are gonna gain 1 of each. Boom and boom. Okay, back to me. I want to spread myself out, so I'm gonna choose patrol, and I'm gonna go right here. Yeah, I don't need to start anything. Okay, orcs are, they want to patrol with their 5 guy, and they want to go this way, so they're actually going to come after me here. Try and kick me out. So I need to spend 1, 2, 3 times 2 because it's the daytime, so I need to spend 6. I'm going to give up 4 here, and that'll get me 6. I'm the defender, so I only need to tie him. I push him back there, and he's got 1, 2, 3 armies, so he needs to spend 3 food to survive. Okay, so good try. If nothing else, it forces me to use up some resources. And the Dark Elves are going to patrol with daytime, so closer, and they want to patrol in this direction, so there. Okay. All right, orcs are going to oh wait, sorry, this comes off, this flips. Now they want to expand. Okay, so can they afford it? No. So they are going to take resources here and the lowest one, so here. The Dark Elves, can they afford to expand? I don't think so. So they now have 1, 2, 3, 4 out. Interesting. So they're also going to take their resources, which is 2 here and 1 here and 1 of the lowest. So the Dark Elves are definitely making a comeback. Okay, and I cannot afford to expand either. So I just take my hits. There we go. Okay. All right, let's see if we can't finish this here this round. Okay, 10 is patrol. Okay, so the Dark Elves, we're gonna start here, tick, 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 ding. And it's this guy. He wants to patrol in that direction, but he can't. So what does he do? Does he patrol over here? Does he come after this guy? I guess so, yeah. Okay, so he patrols there. He's coming at me again, forcing me to spend some money here. Unfortunately, he's really put himself in a tight spot because he cannot retreat, even though this guy was an alliance. I don't believe he can retreat back to this spot. So I'm pretty much going to take this guy out at 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, boom. Because I am in defense, and he has nowhere to go, so he loses that army. Okay. Me patrol here. I'm actually pretty good. I don't think I want to move around. I really just want the resources, so boom, boom, boom. Okay, and orcs are going to start with number 12, which is this guy, and they want to go straight that way, but that's not an available option. So what do they come here? They come after me right here? I guess so. Yeah, everybody's just trying to take shots at me. So he's got 1, 2, 3 armies. So 2, 3. Yeah, we'll do that. He can retreat for 1, 2, 3. So this goes here. Okay. All right, that was pointless, Mr. AI. And so everybody's gone. All right, now it's my turn. And we're gonna research. So I'm gonna spend 4, there we go, to move up here. And this says, when you reach this level, you alone may take 2 actions of your choice. This can include collecting resources. So what I am going to do here, a little trickeration, is for my first action, collect resources. 1, 2, 3 mana. So we're gonna jump back up here to 6. 1 here and 1 here. And then for my second action, I'm going to research by spending all of that. And this says, gain 1 level. When you reach this level, the game is immediately over. Do not finish the round. Now, I believe that means the whole round. I'm pretty sure these guys should be able to get their turns. So I'm gonna give them that because this guy can spend all of his to move up and this guy cannot. So that's interesting. You would simply collect his resources, which would be here, there, like that. Okay, so I triggered the end of the game using the Order of Gamelin. And so let's count up my scores here. We'll start with the orcs. So they're getting 1 point here, 2, 3, and you actually don't score this guy in this land. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for being on the capital, plus an additional 4 for this track is 9. The Dark Elves have 1, 2, 3, no bonus spaces, 4, 5 for this track, and then 1, 2, 3. So they are only at 8. Respectable comeback though. Oh wait, and this guy is getting 9, 10, 11, 12. I forgot about these guys. And this is a bonus point. So 13, and this guy's at 8, 9, 10. So 13, 10. Let's count me up here. I get 1 here and an additional 1 here for 2, and 5 for here is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That should pretty much do it. I've got 1 black guy for 13, but I'm also getting 3 bonus points here for occupying those territories. So 16 to 13 to whatever that guy was, 10. So really actually closer than I was expecting. I thought I was really crushing them because I was basically able to win every war. But the orcs made a decent comeback there in the end and kept it really close. So that is just a testament to how well the solo AI works. But I just wanted to show off for you that this does work. You don't have to just play the head-to-head. The head-to-head is nice though. It plays in like 15 minutes. It's super fast. So if you really want to get in a quick, very light 4X game, play the standard solo rules. But if you want something more meaty, you can certainly get this out, and this one works. So you could even go so far as to try and play with 4 AI players. I don't know. That might be too much. This is easy to handle. So if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great night.